Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, Becky D, live in the morning right here on this beautiful, beautiful Friday, you guys. I am so excited to be here on our first Friday focus, okay? We have just had an exhilarating work week, all right? And I don't know if you've noticed, but the scenery has changed a little bit, right? As you know, for those who've been with me for the longest, okay. I'm gonna keep that in. I'm not even editing that out. Um, my cat jumped on a car and scared me. So, for those of you who have been with me the longest, know how much of a fan I am of travel. Um, so much so that I wanted to do this episode sitting in my car. All right. So my apologies, as my cat, excuse me, literally just scared the daylights out of me. Not even gonna make that up. All right. He is definitely my spiritual guide and my number one go-to for everything. As you can see, he's gonna scare me a lot during this. But more importantly, I've noticed that as the years went on, even when I was in college and just kind of living life, my motto was always make it to Friday. Make it to Friday, make it to Friday, make it to Friday. And as an adult, deep into my adult years now, I have come to realize that it's going to be okay. Taking that time off of work, taking that time for myself, taking time, I'm going to be okay. Even if that's letting down a teammate or a coworker, a family member, a spiritual advisor, a fiance, best friend, lover, children, parents, it's all going to be okay. One of the biggest things that has been surfacing, the internet for what felt like years now is that, especially after the rise of COVID, when you go, however you go, whatever that looks like, whenever that looks like, they will replace your position almost immediately. So why are we killing ourselves at that job? Right? Now, if you own your own business, congrats. Which is phenomenal, right? But do you have somebody in place to carry it on? If not, why are you hurting yourself so much? A lot of times we don't think that deep into things. We just like, oh, we were raised to be great workers, have great work ethics, and all these things. We were. Our parents, our ancestors, whoever was before us, set some great work goals into us, but they forgot to show us the work-life balance. Now, some people, they have it down pat, okay? But others had no choice but to see and watch the struggle and the constant need to have that grind mentality and to keep going and to keep pushing and to work multiple jobs. I found myself in a workaholic situation, which the people who know me will be so proud of me to know that I am still a business owner and only working one job. Before 2024, I worked several jobs as well as trying to manage my own business. I've kind of set my goals to like prioritizing myself as well as just owning things for myself. Because if I'm going to work myself to the point of no return, I'd rather it be for me. Okay. Um, After dealing with so much toxicity in my life, uh, I'm sorry, y'all. After he jumped on that car, it's gonna take me a minute to recover. But that's what makes me me, right? I'm always real. Um, is the fact that people will manipulate you into believing like, oh, no, I need you here over those 40 hours a week. Forget your family, right? Growing up, I've always said that the workplace was the number one family killer. because watching the way my household dynamics were, it was, of course, one, kind of a necessity to make some money because, they wanted to keep a roof over my head, clothes on my body, all this stuff, which was amazing, which was great. And they did a phenomenal job. I cannot thank my parents enough for the way they raised me, as well as my extended family, because you guys, it literally took a village, not only with just my brother, my sister, but with just like definitely me. I am a handful. Okay. Hence, we ain't gonna talk about that. So, having to just get a concept of why would the workplace want someone to work past the time that was already delegated to them to work was beyond me. I was mad growing up because so many opportunities were missed in my life that I wanted both parents at. So many things was just not there. It wasn't a connection. I applaud my parents for everything that they did. Having a career change for my mother, what felt like the middle of my life, but it wasn't. Um, but in my younger years, where my household turned into a father-centered kind of concept, if that makes sense. Whereas I'm used to my mom being here at nights and making sure I'm tucked in and reading me bedtime stories to she barely makes it in to, tell me good night because she's at taking late night classes and stuff like that. So it was an adjustment. And as a kid, that doesn't make sense all the time. But one of the beautiful things about me is that I'm able to understand so well. Sorry, guys, sinuses. So I was actually happy to see my mom pursuing things beyond her and to keep going on. But what I wished I saw more of is them understanding that it's going to be okay. That if they took those extra days off, if they just took that vacation time and just did whatever they wanted to do without us, without my brother, anybody, then they will understand that, you know what? There's another set of eyes looking at us. I'm trying to see. He must have just adjusted. I'm waiting for my cat to make his cameo here. You probably saw him going up. Just wait for him to come down. But it was constantly seeing them work. My mom's a teacher, so I got to be in the classroom. I got to go to the meetings. I got to go to all these things, see all these wonderful things. And again, I built very good work ethics. But what I did not build is relaxing efforts, okay? It is Friday, y'all. The only thing I want you all to focus on this weekend, besides my cat giving me heart attacks, is the fact that you, for this one weekend, are not allowed to focus on anything work related. If you are in school, you can set some time aside, probably an hour, max is 2, to do a little bit of homework. But other than that, this is your weekend to relax. If you drink, get a bottle of wine. Nothing hard. You want your body to relax, not be like, I'm jumping off the deep end kind of vibes, all right? Get a bottle of wine. Something very relaxing and calming. If you don't like wine, do a wine testing to see what you like, okay? Um, read a book. I know it's crazy, but reading has really changed my life over this last year, okay? And just simply focus on you. I am due, and I talk with my hands a lot. I'm sorry, my Italian side. Um, but you will see, I am actually due for a pedicure and a manicure. This is my manicure. This is not my feet. That was so weird. I'm due for both, actually. It's been way too long. So one of my priorities this weekend is to get a mani-pedi and to drink some wine, to read a book. My friend Sonia, shout out to you, girl, has given me several books to read, and I've knocked 2 off. I can't wait to knock off the other 20 that she sent me, which I will be posting to my Instagram as we go, and hopefully get her on one of my podcasts to just keep uplifting you all, because she has been very, very vocal in my life as far as finding my center, my vibration, and just, oh gosh, just everything. And so there's a lot more into that. But read a book, drink some tea if you're not a wine drinker. Okay. I don't think wine will get you, to be like an alcoholic or anything. But you could drink some very calming tea. I do have a collection of herbal teas. Um, not like any that I produce, but I'm just saying these are things that you could do. Go to a spa if that's your thing. Me, I'm not a fan of massages, so that's not something that I will like, oh yeah, let's do this. So I can relax. That will probably get me more tense, right? If you are a movie goer like I am, you may find the movie theater a little bit more relaxing. Let's do it, right? Write that book. That's fine. That may be therapeutic for you. Find some time to meditate. And a lot of times, unfortunately, those who are very religious do not deem meditation as a religious practice, but it actually is, okay? You can read your Bible, your Quran, your, I forgot all the different translations of um, religious books out there, so please forgive me. Whatever book or words or scriptures that you need to read in order to get closer to your deity, okay? Do that. Go to the beach, go ice skating, go skating. Just so many activities that you can do to just unwind. Or better yet, have a staycation. I'll never forget, I want to say it was Steve Harvey. He actually had a whole episode on his TV show about a staycation one time. I've been craving to have a staycation. Okay. I go on vacations, do that quite often, but not a staycation. And just kind of enjoy the city that you live in. So that's on my bucket list for this year. I'm going to do it. I've actually taken quite some time, a year off of this podcast, and to just get back to me. All right. I've never felt better. We're not talking about the wrist. That's excluded in all of this. Right. I've had a career change. I've had several life changes. I'm back in school for my master's degree. Like, it is so many things that I'm leveling up on and taking advantage of this opportunity. And my mind is clear. My body is healthier. I've started a nonprofit here. Um, I'm exercising my voice and my rights as to be vocal for those who do not have a voice. I'm deep into the things that I believe. I'm thriving in my business. I'm getting ready to finally break open the shell and release my book, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I just took time to realize that it's going to be okay, that I did not work myself to death this weekend. Okay? Now, if you're one of those people who have like a Saturday, Sunday shift and you're off during the week, this will be reversed for you. And that's okay. All right. Your Friday isn't always on a Friday. Whoever came up with the calendar, I would like to have a talk with you, but we can get into that later. The thing is, as long as you are finding your Friday, running to that Friday, getting through that day, then you have made it. All right. My great grandmother, Grandma Katie, all right, definitely left me with some words of wisdom. She told me to always complain about that job all the way up to payday. And that didn't make sense to me as a kid. Cannot lie about that. But as an adult, I wholeheartedly get it. Being in a field that was not as rewarding as it was or should have been definitely drained me. So all I did was like, hey, and I got paid monthly. We're not gonna get into it too deep. It was definitely like, I'm here till another pay cycle. Like, I don't know if I can do this. But I started to realize that, hey, I have vacation days, I have sick days, I have all these things, holidays. I need to actually take those. I got to see my mom use her days besides when I'm sick, but when she had to be out for medical reasons. And she actually maxed out all her days. But when she went back, she felt stronger. And it's sad that that was the only time I got to see that in action, right? Same with my father, but I don't think he's ever maxed out his days. It was just more so taking care of a loved one, kind of a family medical leave kind of thing. I wish my brother will take advantage of his more. I wish whoever is listening and are watching this will definitely take advantage of it more. All right. You may make some people at your job mad. They may not understand it, but when they're out, what do What do? Do they sit back and be like, oh man, I wish John was at work today? No. Do they say, oh man, I should be at work because John's at work today? No. Now, if it's your work bestie, that's different. Okay. But if a business cannot thrive without you, they should pay you more. If a company feels like they can't make it without you, they should change your title to owner or CEO. Okay. It's time people start putting respect not only on your name, but also your title. All right. So let's focus in on you this Friday. Or if your Friday is not actually a Friday, whatever that looks like, call it Friday. All right. One of my favorite things at my job, my workplace, all right, my place of work, is definitely Free Food Fridays. Okay. It's something about food that tastes better when you don't have to pay for it. Common places that we all usually eat at, there's the Chick-fil-A days. I don't really eat those too much. There's taco days, which I don't eat, but I'm still a part of the environment. The other day, I went into work and I got in early because I was actually bringing some goodies in for my immediate supervisor. And I walk into our little area. I can't even call it a break room because it's just an area where we just exist and have fun. And I look around and everybody is there. As soon as I walk in, all they say, we work with kids. So all they say is, no kids, no kids. And I was like, did a kid follow me? Like, what's going on? And everybody's just looking at me saying that. And I'm looking at them like, did I miss something? And so finally, one young lady looks at me and she was like, oh, most of our kids are out today. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought I was late for a staff meeting or something. You had me worried. And she was like, oh, no. And they looked at the time before like our actual business hours were open. And they was like, hey, y'all want to play a game? Let's play a board game. Let's find a game. And they started playing this game. I've never played it before, but they said it was a lot like Scrabble. You think I got into that? No. That required me to have an extensive vocabulary. And I'm still growing my vocabulary, as you can see, especially based off of my speech pattern. But it was the thought of including me and saying, hey, we can have fun. We can turn this workplace into fun. I miss treat trolley Tuesdays. They could bring that back. And it's not just junk food. It's actually healthy food too. Like, we're not just pigging out and gaining weight. We're actually having a good time and trying to spark up a healthy environment. And it's amazing. I never thought that I would find a workplace that also shared the same value and thoughts that I do. Like, whenever I have a chance, when I'm just like chilling out, having fun, nothing to do, I go and say, hey, do you need a break? Do you just want to run to the store? Do you want to do this? And people appreciate it because it's like, wow, I just have a second to just be human, to remember I have kids, to remember I have a family. Hey, I got to actually make this phone call because if I don't, they're going to turn off my lights. We remember that you're human. Do you remember that you're human? Do you take time in your day to say, hey, I'm deserving enough of understanding that I may not be okay in this moment, but it's going to be okay. And I deserve some me time. I deserve to be selfish. I deserve to focus on me. Okay? That's all I'm asking you to do on this Friday, as well as this weekend. Have some focus on me time, all right? It's going to be okay. You got this. As always, I'm your girl, Becky D, with Becky D in the Morning. You guys, please, please, please focus on you, all right? I look forward to hearing all the stories on my Instagram, my Facebook, as well in the YouTube comments. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button on all the podcast platforms. Just continue to share to a friend, continue to keep the engagement. I try to keep all the comments open. I try to respond as much as possible, but just know it's Friday. It's not a guarantee I'm going to respond. So give me until Monday. All right. I look forward to talking with you on Motivational Monday.